I was watching Karl Anthony Towns walk around with the cup, and I was thinking to myself, is he embarrassed right now? I watched that as a Knicks fan last night, thinking, do you think in the back of his mind he knows? We all know this is slightly embarrassing.
The Chevy Equinox EV, if you're looking for an EV, the Chevy Equinox EV is the best choice you're going to be able to make. It's got that 17-inch diagonal center screen, which is the largest of any EV in its class. They've been repping this show, presenting this show for years now. We appreciate Chevy for that, and they bring us the second to last show of the year, which has a new little wrinkle with Mr. Richardson coming in with some trivia today, boys.
Yeah, some 2025 PGA Tour trivia just to show how much we do or don't know about the sport that we talk about every single day. There's some tough ones in there, that's for sure. I mean, the PGA Tour has so many statistics and so many different players. We talk about the parity in the tour now, and how the guys that are 50th are not that far off from the guys that are in the top 10. And when you actually see the stats and the statistics, it's unbelievable how certain names pop up that are like, wow, that guy's the best putter on PGA Tour. How the hell is that even possible? So yeah, we get into all that. We got a lot of stuff going on. The NBA Cup really racked our brains for a second. I warped my brain as a Knicks fan last night. Shout out to the Knicks. We're champions. We're champions.
Champs.
First time since the 70s, baby.
We got a nice debate over Scottie's year versus Rory's year, which we talk about for quite a bit. 2 phenomenal years. So another great show, another good time talking golf and much, much more. All brought to you by Chevy and that Equinox EV. Once again, when it comes to EVs, the Chevy Equinox EV is the smartest choice you can make. Foreplay presented by Barstool Sports. It is December 18th, 2025, at our second to last show of the entire year. So we're kind of wrapping things up. I believe Ryan Richin has come with some golf trivia. We've got a few voicemails in the queue, so we might want to kind of empty the quiver, if you will, when it comes to the voicemails, so that we can start fresh next year in 2026. A big congratulations to Mr. Scottie Scheffler. I saw he was actually on Wake Up Barstool this morning. That blew my socks off. Like Stu Feiner had him on Wake Up Barstool. He was just sitting there in his full Nike gear, talking to Stu, and as always, being just the man when it comes to Scottie Scheffler and media. You don't see or hear much from Scottie for months at a time. He's just down, walking around Dallas, Texas with Meredith, drinking iced coffee and being perfect. And then when he pops up, he's always just the man. He's always been that way with us. And then sure enough, he was on there. He was thanking Stu for all the entertainment. He's, answering questions about not cutting the ravioli. And I got to give a tip of the old cap to that crew and to Scottie. I died laughing when I saw that clip come across my desk.
Him and Stu Feiner have an incredible relationship. There's the clip from Pardon My Take where Scottie's talking about he watches Stu Feiner and then goes to church, or vice versa, one or the other. And yeah, those two seem to have a connection. It's a duo that you don't see coming, but anytime they're together, I think it's must see TV. And because Stu Feiner, we had him at our live show at Borelli's during the Ryder Cup. As people know, he is must see TV all the time. Brings the energy. I just love the guy. I really do.
Yeah, there's no one like him. He's arguably the funniest person that's in my life. If he texts me, calls me, it's a stop what you're doing and put him on speakerphone so everyone can hear, or read out his text message out loud type of person. He is, he's one of a kind. So the fact that he's in this world where he invented this world that he's in. Like, he's the one, he is the source, he is the guy. But the fact that who he is gets access to guys like Scottie Scheffler is very, very funny. You know what I mean? Like,
yep.
Like people like Scottie Scheffler, and like when you're the number one player in your sport and your generation, you don't usually run across too many Stu Feiners talking to you.
No.
He wanted to throw Bennett in the pool, and he said in the clip he wanted to toss Bennett in the pool and have and they're gonna run around and they're gonna make food. He was just like, what are we talking about?
Oh man, the best. But yeah, Scottie, 4th Player of the Year award in a row, Mr. Scheffler, which is pretty damn shocking. It made me start thinking, like, what year do we think Scottie Scheffler is not going to win Player of the Year? It's like there's nobody. Like, think about what has happened in the last couple of years. Like last year, Xander Schauffele won 2 major championships his first major breakthrough ever. And he wasn't player of the year last year because Scottie is more impressive. This year, Rory McIlroy completes the career Grand Slam. He wins at Pebble, Augusta National, and TPC Sawgrass. He wins the Irish Open as a Northern Irishman. He wins an away Ryder Cup, which I guess technically they don't factor that in, but he wins an away Ryder Cup while being the entire story of the away Ryder Cup. And still, these 2 years, I don't think anyone was really arguing that it wasn't Scottie Scheffler winning player of the year these last 2 years.
Yeah, it's not one of those runs where you'll look back in history and say, oh, the competition wasn't as good, so that's why he was able to take advantage of that era and win a bunch and be player of the year. No, this is a very, the top is very bunched up in terms of professional golf. Like, the guys at the top are very, very good. And professional golf is probably as deep as it's ever been. Like, even people at 10, 15, 20, 30, like, these are all very, very, very good golfers. And there's just one guy who stands above the rest. He's so consistent. We've read the statistics throughout the year, but there's so many Tiger comparisons that at press conferences he's like, I don't know if I want to talk about the Tiger comparisons anymore because they are pretty accurate. But what is he supposed to say? He's like, yeah, man, I'm hitting my irons as well as anybody in history, and I'm winning a bunch of golf tournaments, and I'm winning a bunch of money. Yeah, it's one of the more impressive runs that you can have in the game of golf for sure.
I think this year, the Xander one, I understood. This year, I think you could make a pretty strong argument, and I'm sure people did, for Rory McIlroy. I mean, I know he had a great year, Scottie, but Rory really moved the needle this year. I mean, big venues, history, winning throughout the entire year. I know that the Ryder Cup they don't factor in, but it's just like in every MVP voting or whatever.
Actually, don't even know if they do or don't, but I feel like
it's in the back of their minds, right? Like,
petty enough that they would
always
in the back of their minds. If you're the best player on a team that doesn't make the playoffs in the MLB or something, it's always like, were you the most valuable to your team? Your team didn't even make the playoffs. It always becomes a little bit of that conversation, even though they don't factor it in. Anyone that has a rational thinking brain will typically say,
come on, baby.
The person that's on the most winning teams gets the most accolades and the most trophies. I'm not arguing against. I'm happy that Scottie won. I mean, there's no bigger Scottie fan in the world than me. I'm so proud of him with everything he does. I mean, we've been with him since he was just a little fawn. Just walking around, just sliding
around the frozen pond,
just finding little pockets of little water just to stay alive. And then now he's just a freaking lion. He's a lioness. So I'm not arguing against it. I'm just saying that of all the years, this one felt this was a little bit of a shock when I saw it come across my desk.
I've definitely seen, like, I'm on TikTok. I'm addicted to it. I can't stop looking at it. It really eats up a good part of my day. I've seen way more Rory McIlroy TikTok edits than I've seen of Scottie Scheffler TikTok edits. And that might just be because their attitudes are a little bit different. Like, Rory is pretty much in your face and he'll scream and he'll be very emotional. And, Scottie will win and look like he's pumping gas at the local gas station. But, it's an interesting argument. Like, I think Rory had more eyeballs on him. It just feels like he was seen way more. And I get that that's probably not the criteria of player of the year. But if you are talking about who dominated headlines and just stuff that I feel like a regular person who's not necessarily a huge golf fan would see, I think it's probably Rory McIlroy.
Yeah, I think I was kind of thinking of it this way. Like, what would the year of 2025 golf be remembered for? And I think it's Rory McIlroy winning the Masters. And I don't, I don't think anything else is even close. Now, I think that is a different argument than player of the year. If we go through Scottie's kind of resume this year, which we will, it becomes like a really irrefutable case, I think. But, when I go through certain years in golf, like Tiger 2000 is obviously just remembered for him dominating everywhere. But you think about, like, if you pick out years like 2004 was like Phil Mickelson broke through and finally won a major championship at the Masters. I don't really remember anything else that happened in the year of golf in 2004. 2005, Tiger Woods chipped in on Chris DeMarco on the 16th hole at Augusta National. That's like what the whole year is remembered for. You go through like 2010. I remember, like, that's a win for the family. And it's Phil Mickelson at the Masters after, like, his wife and, like, his mother had been diagnosed with breast cancer. And he went. 2019, Tiger Masters. 2018, it's like Brooks Koepka was winning all of the majors out of like nowhere. He never won tour events. 2021, it's like Phil comes through and wins after like COVID at age 50. And like there's certain things that you just kind of remember years of golf for. I think, what was it, 2015 was like the Spieth year where he won a couple majors, almost won the Grand Slam. It feels like this year, when you look back and somebody asks you like 2025, you comb through, you're like, okay, which year was that again? Oh, that was Rory's Masters. That's the thing that you remember from this year. So I think that's like, that really does stand out. It's almost like Rory's a feat and accomplishment and what he was able to do at the beginning of this year total, which culminated with the Masters, is almost helped in terms of how impressive it was by the fact that it was abnormal over the last 11 years versus when you look at Scottie winning 2 majors and 6 total events, you're like, well, yeah, he's Scottie Scheffler. That's what he does right now. He just fucking wins everything.
Yeah, I mean, it's just he was so hot, Rory. And like I went back and looked, like you say, he won the Players, he won at Pebble Beach, he wins the Masters, and you're thinking to yourself, he's gonna have a generational year. This is gonna be the one. This is the Rory McIlroy year. This is the one that he's gonna go on this run. If you go back and listen to us talk about Rory after the Masters, we were like, this guy, there's not gonna be a tournament he doesn't win. Like he's got the monkey off the back. There was all that talk. There's a lot of back talk. Like his back was being freed up. He's gonna have a lot less weight on his back and his shoulders. And I actually brought up the point that maybe it kind of changes his perception of like of wanting to win and his prep work that he would put in to try and get that major because he hadn't won in over a decade. That definitely changes once you get that monkey off the back. It's a little bit of a relaxation mode, and he did go into that relaxation mode. He started to play pretty poor golf. Then he was like getting negative media attention. It was things kind of turned on him pretty quick after he won the Masters. And then you look at Scottie, yeah, of course, the 2 majors, unbelievable. And then he wins 6 times. So I'm not saying that it's shocking in terms of like, he definitely deserves to win. It's just, I think in your perception of a year, like what you just laid out pretty perfectly, when you think back to the year 2025, the memorable stuff for me, even though he did win 2 majors, like the memorable stuff for me is the Masters because of how incredible it was. Now there's 2 different things. It's like moment of the year and player of the year, I guess. Like Rory would obviously win moment of the year. The Oscars just, is it the Oscars? Yeah, the Oscars just added that new like popular movie of the year category last year, right? Where like the Marvels would never win movie of the year. It just wouldn't. It's just like it's got CGI. It's like it's never ever gonna win that. And now it's like, all right, who made the most money at the box office? Like who was the most popular movie of the year? That's what they got to give Rory McIlroy.
Yeah, I agree with most of that, but he did win more than just like if he had just won the Masters, I would have agreed fully with that. But he did win a bunch of tournaments. Then he ends up winning the Irish Open, and it's like, again, I'm not arguing necessarily against Scottie Scheffler, but fuck, man, Rory had one hell of a year. Just even I mean, again, this is not how they judge Player of the Year for sure, but even after the Masters, if we're talking headlines, like you're saying, after he won, there was conversations about like, oh, this is going to free him up and he's going to maybe win a bunch. There was also comments that he made that we had long discussions about him being like, I'm going to retire. And maybe that was us feeding into, I mean, we were definitely reading into some comments that he had made or was not saying to the media, but like, it really was Rory's year in terms of storylines. No doubt about it. But if you win 2 majors and you win 6 times, you're going to be in the running for Player of the Year. No doubt.
Yeah, it is. That turned out to be one of the most correct takes of the year. Was Frankie right after Rory won the Masters, and I think we were gearing up for the PGA, and I put way too much money, responsibly, on like Rory's going to win the PGA Championship. He's freed up, and he was a mess. He was driving all over the place. Everybody was like Quail Hollow. Rory owns Quail Hollow. Like he wins here in his sleep. He's obviously going to win now that he's won the Masters, and then the U.S. Open. He wasn't sharp. He just the rest of the time, it really was sort of apparent that he had put so much effort. I remember he was like hitting balls into the simulator this time of year without the simulator turned on so that he didn't even know where it was going because he's filming whatever the hell he was filming in New York City. And like now that he had won those 3 big tournaments culminating with the Masters, he did sort of like not quite put in or have the same edge, whatever the hell it was. We'll never know exactly what it was, but it's like that intangible thing that Frankie Borelli called was very, very clear. And then he sort of he did what he does a lot, which he like reshaped his focus. He made a bunch of comments about how like I do have to like kind of re-energize and rethink my goals going forward now that I've won the Masters to like motivate myself. He really wanted to win the Irish Open. He loves National Opens. He did win the Irish Open. He really wanted to win the away Ryder Cup. He was phenomenal at the Ryder Cup, again, you know, with everybody yelling at him and crossing the line and him being the center of attention in a lot of negative ways with the fans and the whole deal. He like got that win. So, you know, he did have such a interesting Rory type year. And I also think it's what makes his Masters win like more memorable and more awesome was that when Scottie wins, it's pretty damn methodical every time. It's like he just surgically picks apart kind of the golf course a little bit better than the field. And even when the tournament looks like John Rahm's making a run, you know, it's like on the back nine, Scottie just makes a couple birdies when the other guys make a couple bogeys and he wins by like 4 or 6 and it's over. Whereas like Rory trying to win that Masters and get it over the line is like hitting wedges into the water. He's like laying up and, you know, and then like collapsing and then making eagles. And you're just like, oh my God. And he barely, you know, he ends up winning with a birdie in the playoff against Justin Rose. It's just, it's like, it's kind of this, it's much more entertaining is pretty much kind of what you're getting down to. It's more clippable. It's more shareable. There's more reels around it, all of it when Rory wins. And so if it would have been the other way around too, like if the Masters was in like July or August and like Rory's big run had been later in the year, you know, there's recency bias. So that might've changed it a little bit, but yeah, I do. I just think that the year will be remembered for Rory. I don't think it'll be even close. And like, this will just be, it's almost like when you look back at Scottie's career at the end of it and however many majors he racks up, you'll just kind of look at this will be one of those like parts of the major championship section on his Wikipedia page where there's just a bunch of yellow when he like won the tournament. And like, you won't remember specifics. You won't remember the course. You won't remember. You'll just be like, oh yeah, that was like that chunk. Scottie just kept fucking winning majors and gigantic tournaments. Whereas you'll see that yellow on Rory's. It's the only one in an 11-year period or whatever the hell it's been, and be like, God damn, that was unbelievable when he won that Masters.
I still can't believe he laid up and chunked that wedge into the water at the Masters.
That was insane. That was insane.
I remember screaming. Had a huge watch party at my house. We ordered all that Masters food at home on Goldbelly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you're just like, there's no way he just did that. The easiest scoring hole, he just completely fucked it up. What are we doing? It was the weirdest thing ever. It was just all of it was such a weird choice. It was like his brain turned off for a second and then he got it back.
Over.
Well, we were all worried.
He had done the thing. He had gone through like 9, 10, 11, 12, which is like, if you hit the ball over the water on 12 and you still have a 2 or 3 shot lead, the Masters is over, dude. You've done the thing. It's like, God, he hits it in the fucking water on his 3rd shot. Whenever I think about if we ever get to play Augusta National, I always think the one hole I might be able to make a birdie on is 13.
Yes.
It's like he hits it in the water.
You get it off the tee, or you have a good chance to make birdie. If you just get it forward off the tee, it's a very short hole. You've got a chance. You've got a real chance. Huge green, short hole. There's really not much damage except for on the left. Like
fairway everywhere up the right. So I'm short off the tee. I'm gonna dink one 244 down the right. I'm gonna hit like a 4-iron up there, well short of the creek, and I'm gonna have like a 60 or 70 yard pitch across the green into a back slope. And it's like I might be able to make birdie on 13, and he
might be able to make birdie there.
It's like, oh my God, dude, that was crazy. We were at Cosm in Dallas, Texas. Is that where we were, Trent?
We were, yeah.
We were watching that. That was.
And then that led to 2 days.
Oh, sorry, Trent. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say that led to then on 15, 2 days in a row, the 2 of the greatest shots in history. Like, I remember the first time he did it, which would have been Saturday. I was like, as soon as he started walking, I was like, that's in the water. He's walking towards it because that's in the water. Then he did it again on Sunday, and I thought the same thing. I was like, that's in the water. He's pissed that he hit a bad shot and is now pissing this Masters down his leg again. And they just land right on the green and roll towards the hole. He's a fucking savage.
Yeah, no, he is. And I was going to say, like, just over the years, we've met a lot of cool people in the game of golf, and we've got to meet a decent amount of people that have played Augusta National. And it is when you hear the stories of it, obviously from the members' tees, it's a whole different ballgame. But that's also relative to just like how far we hit it and how we play. But it's playable. Like it is. Like we talked to Noah Khan. He had just went out there this year. He does a lot of stuff with Augusta National. He did it with the like the women's the women's tournament. He went there and did a collaboration with them, and he also sang like the Georgia song for the intro for ESPN. Like he was all, or yeah, I think it was for the ESPN.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And like he had just played it this year, and he like careered out there. Yeah, and you know, we've seen his game. It could be all over the place. It could be pretty dialed. He's got a pretty unorthodox swing. Like he just maneuvered his way around Augusta National and had a career low round, made a bunch of pars, like had birdie looks on 13. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's a playable golf course. So when I just had to reference that, because it's like when people hear us saying like, oh, I think we could birdie 13, like people go out there and they make birdies out there. Regular people go out there and make birdies all the time.
Yeah.
You've made this point many times, Frank, where you're like, it is still a golf course. Like there's tee boxes and fairway and like greens. It's just, it's hard. I'm not saying it's not hard. I'm not saying like you don't get punished more for bad shots in certain spots for sure. But like you could go out and play the golf. You know, if you hit, if you make two good swings, like you're putting for birdie. That's just like how the game's.
And also when we talk about the Masters and how hard it is to win, and we've had guys on the show talk about how hard it is to win. When they're playing, they're trying to win the Masters, and that's a really hard thing to do. And that place is a pressure cooker as the days go on and as the rounds go on. Again, not saying that it's an easy golf course, but if they ever let us out there, which would be, boy, would that be amazing. We would just be out there playing a golf course and trying to score well. So it is all just very different. But yeah, you can play well there if you just hit good golf shots. That's pretty much true anywhere.
I was just kind of randomly thinking, like, would you rather your first opportunity to play Augusta National ever, would you rather it be with like our crew and we get to film the whole thing and put it out on social and on YouTube and do the whole treatment, or would you rather have it be with like your family / best friend's best foursome? So whether it's like you, your dad, your brother, your best friend from home, you're like whatever, and you can't post anything about it ever.
Damn. That's a really
tough,
good question.
because like this is our lives and this is like what we've been wired to want to do. Like if we got to film that match at, it's the thing I love about our job, and I haven't really taken advantage of it, and I think I will when I'm older, is watch all of our top moments back on YouTube. It's just like we have an archive of our lives in the game of golf on YouTube now, unless like the servers explode and like Taiwan comes after our like microchips or something like that. Like, yeah, we won't be able to watch them, but like for a good portion of our life, we should be able to go back and sit down and like show my son and like my hopefully grandchildren and stuff. Like this is what, like I played Cyprus one day, and like hopefully they love the game of golf to the point where it's like, oh my God, I get to watch every shot. So yeah, like playing Augusta National on TV would be the coolest thing of all time, whether that goes good or bad. Like I get to go watch my chip at the freaking Internet Invitational for the rest of my life. Like, yeah, that was a low moment, but like it's a moment. I get to go back and watch it. So I think as much as I would want to share it with my friends or family, like I'd of course love my dad to go out there and play Augusta National with me. I think he'd get just as much enjoyment of being able to sit down and watch me go out there and play it, just knowing him. And like I really do think that it ends up being more memorable for me. If you're just asking me selfishly, like I think having that recorded, I think I would take that.
I know. I think it's as crazy as it sounds. It is like we're so invested in what we do, and it's like aligned enough with the reasons that you would want the other one that like I think it checks more boxes to have it be filmed and play it with you guys and like do what we started doing 9 years ago, but be able to do it at Augusta it just checks even more boxes. Like, sorry, Dad. Sorry, my brother Kyle. It's a tough break for you. But like in this instance, it's like almost just as cool to be with like the crew. That it's all like it's maybe even cooler because it's like this is what we do. So to get to do it at the pinnacle is almost even cooler.
It's not like we started this brand 4 months ago and we just don't have a lot of history together and we're just like, oh, and Augusta National, for whatever reason, reached out to a new brand and was like, "Hey, you want to come play?" We've been doing this for almost 10 years. So I get what you're saying, where we have not as much history as you have their family, obviously, but like we've been doing this a long time. We've been through a lot. We've done a lot together. Like all the, late night discussions, like all the videos we film, all the, like everything is like, we've created a pretty serious bond here. So going out there and playing with you guys would have an incredible amount of meaning. It wouldn't have zero meaning.
We're like close to a third of my life at Barstool.
Dude, I was thinking about that the other day. I am at a third of my life.
Yeah, and if you really think about it too, like there's a age that you kind of get to that is actually your real life. Like I don't know if that age, like maybe it's adult life, whatever. Maybe it's 13 years old
like
or
30.
18 years old.
Mine was 2 years ago.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like the rest might as well not exist. So really, if I look at it, like I'm 38, and it's like probably more than 50% of my like actual life has been like at Barstool, or about.
Dude, after like 17 years old, you're like still like not even a real person. That's why I talk about, not to bring up the Islanders again, but Matthew Schaefer is like in the NHL scoring. He has like 9 goals, 10 goals, whatever. Like he's 18. He just turned 18. He was 17 a couple of weeks ago. Like that's not a real person. I was like barely driving my car at that point.
That is such an interesting question. Because I'm 36, but like, when did I actually become a person and was like, oh, I'm me and I'm doing things and I have memories and I have history? And I would say like 13, probably.
Yeah, that's kind of like probably around there. I'm thinking the same thing of like, you start to shape like a little bit of a worldview. You start to like think for your own. You start to understand that like at some point you're actually going to have to earn income to like pay for rent and like get yourself from like one residence to like a place of work. And you're going to have to like that. I'm trying to think of like, you start to kind of piece that together. Yeah, I would say maybe like freshman, sophomore in high school, but even then, like Frankie's saying, you're still kind of nothing. Like you're still almost a vegetable.
So routine like, at that point, dude. Like I just think back, like everything was just so. I also didn't go away to college, and I was just gonna work at Borelli's, so like everything felt. When I was 22, it felt the same as when I was 8. Like everything, I was living in my parents' house. I went to Borelli's. I had my same friends. I wasn't going away to college. So like everything felt the same. And then I met Dave Portnoy and everything's like, we're going on a plane. We're going to get kicked out of the NFL. We're going to get kicked out of the Super Bowl. Like, no. Like I got to change the soda machine in the back of the restaurant. Like they ran out of Coca-Cola. I got to go back and change the bag. Like that's what every day was like this. You know what I mean? Like every day was kind of the same. So like, and I wasn't, it wasn't traveling. I never left the country. And like, I loved it. Like I miss that routine a little bit all the time. Like that was where my family is. That's where I was comfortable. But I felt like I didn't know the world until I would say like 23, 24 years old. I was like, all right, this is crazy. Like now I'm making a little bit of money. I've got like, I have to like get credit cards. Like, I mean, like I was so delayed in all of that stuff. I really was. Because I lived a pretty simple, just like local life. That's just like what, if you just kind of stay home, like you really don't need to learn that much. You know what I mean? You don't need to learn that much.
When you get a credit card is almost a pretty good line of demarcation. I got a credit card like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Like that's the other thing too, is
for that you're using a debit card forever.
And I was like, why not? That's my money. I'll just use my money to buy the things that are for me. And people are like, that's the craziest thing I've ever heard.
I'm like, there's literally a thing that will give you rewards for the same money you're spending. Like if you have two options, one is like, we'll give you cash back or something or points or anything. And the other is like, we're just taking money out. I used to yell at you at the old office. Like you have to get a credit card.
I was very bad at the collecting of points and rewards for anything. I was always pretty anti. Like
you hated it.
Yeah,
Delta. You hated the point. Fuck those points.
They'll ask you at the register at a grocery store or whatever, and be like, "Do you want to sign up for the card to get points?" I'm like, "No, I just want to leave the store now that I've bought these things that I have."
I was like that for a while in the same way of like it kind of came off to me as just another thing I have to like track or think about or keep track of it. I was like, no, I just want to like do the minimal transaction. I'm okay to just pay what it costs. And like, I'm just leaving and never thinking about it ever again.
And because I always felt like they were trying to trick me. They want my email. They want my phone number. But then we travel so much. I'm I'm going to end up taking 110 flights this year. If I hadn't gotten the Delta one, like I'm leaving thousands upon thousands of dollars on the table.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, again, just going back to like when you, yeah, if we're really breaking it down on when I felt like I like burst into the world and like had to, like, the things that and it sounds stupid because not like we got very lucky, right? Like the jobs that we
Super
got,
lucky.
you don't have to get a job like this to finally be like, whoa. But it did change my life and it changed all of our lives to the point where, yeah, I was living in Cedar Rapids and like my whole family still lives in Cedar Rapids. I'm going back to Cedar Rapids for the holidays. I'm going to see everybody. They're still there. And like my life changed the most. And it is at that point, I think, when I was like, oh, I like the things that I do really matter to me. Not that my life before was bad, but it was just sort of like I was going through the motions. I also didn't go away to college. I was a security guard and like things weren't really, my life was fine, but it was just sort of going to go the way that it was going to go. And then it changed a lot and in a hurry.
Well, I think this like really ignited something inside me to be like, oh, this is who you are now. And I think at Borelli's, I would have had to like, I'm like my dad, just like he's been working there since he was 12 and he learned to like own and operate a business. Like he learned it on his own. Like I didn't know that I had that in me to like teach myself how to do this and have the confidence and all like to be able to manage all these people and like be like the person that's like making sure that these people are having a living. Like that to me was just like, that's dad's thing. Like, I don't know how the hell he does that. That's just something that like came with, like, I'm just his son. And like the dad just like it takes care of you. Like, and the fear of like when I'm 18, 19, 20 of being like, oh my God, at some point I'm gonna have to do that. Like that never ignited in me of being like, how are you going to be that guy? It's going to be impossible. So I feel like I needed that little bit of a change to be. So now I had Dave being like, I don't give a fuck how long you want. Like that doesn't like this. You don't have more than a week to figure this out. You know, my dad would have let me keep going until I was 40. I was going to be living at home probably. And he's the nicest guy of all time. Like Dave's like, if you don't get me a good pizza review idea tomorrow, it's over. You know what I mean? So that really got something going in me. I think everyone, no matter what your job is, you need that moment of like, oh, fuck, I'm not a kid anymore. And this is the real world. And like, and so to go back to the original point, like I was just skating through all the way until that moment of someone being like, if you don't do this correctly, you have no job. You're done. Like this is the first time you're being told no. You know what I mean? Like this is it.
Yeah.
This is, and people experience that in high school. They experience that in college. Mine just happened to be the second I walked into Barstool was like, oh fuck, this is bad.
Yeah, I remember it's funny, like talking about the line of demarcation and like where you sort of whatever shift into like who you kind of end up becoming. And like for me, when I look back on it, it's like my whole focus for like the first 20 years of my life was like hockey and academics. And like neither of those two things translate to the real world unless like you stay in one of those two things forever, unless you're like playing hockey professionally or coaching hockey, or unless you're like you go through academics, then you just become like a teacher or a professor in academics, whatever.
Right.
Otherwise, I remember kind of getting to a point where it's like, okay, I'm not going to play in the NHL. Okay, like I'm not going to be a goddamn professor. I like barely made it through college. But then you're like, for years after that, you're sort of just like you were describing there, where you're like, never really feel like you know what the fuck you're doing. Like I had no idea what I'm doing, what I'm chasing, what I'm going for, what goals do I have. You're sort of just like floating in your 20s with like no plan, no real like satisfaction in anything, no real accomplishment. And then like for me, just like you guys described, it's like Barstool was the first spot that like gave me that, where I was like, oh shit, this is like, I know what to do. Like I'm going to write blogs and go try to film dumb videos and try to entertain people. That was like what it was. And it was like you kind of had a clear, even though Dave gives you no like real direction for like the job that Trent and I were doing at the time, even though you're sort of just thrown into like this pool and it's like you can either swim or, you know, barely swim or swim well or sink, or it didn't really matter. It was like I felt like finally like, okay, this is the deal. Like try to write as many blogs as you can, try to get as many views as you can, try to make videos when you can, try to have them go as viral as they can, and then like build from there. And that was like ever since then, I've had kind of a decent roadmap for like what we're trying to do.
Yeah, I think I was 3 years away from being the guy in the friend group who people are like, what's that guy going to do? What's he going to do? Like because I went to college, but I kind of dropped, then I dropped out. and I was floating big time, and I was very much in the spot that you guys are describing of what am I gonna do? Am I just gonna? I could float for the rest of my life, and I'll just be the guy who floats. And he goes from he's at one job for a few years to another. And yeah, no, Barstool gave me a purpose for sure, which I'm like obviously forever.
You don't need
Barstool.
For. Like you said that before, but it's like doesn't need to be Barstool to get that moment.
It doesn't.
All my buddies, like basically my first interview with a boss was Dave Portnoy, essentially, aside from my dad. So like that was a big moment for me. But like I think back to my buddies who were working at pizza shops with me, or they were working at gas stations. They were like getting that high school college first job, just trying to make a little bit of cash to pay for a car payment or whatever. And then they all went out and like became big boys and like went and got like real interviews and real jobs, and they're wearing suits and they're going to the financial district and like they're securing deals. And I'm looking at them like, holy shit, these guys became, real people before I did. So I'm sure everyone has that aha moment, regardless of what your job ends up being. You get that moment of like, oh fuck, like I just became a big boy.
For a lot of my friends, it was starting a family. You start a family, and that becomes like the focus. And that's no one thing, job, whatever, is more important than the other thing. It's just whatever that thing ends up being for you. And again, for us, we're saying it's this job. For some people, it's starting a family. It can be anything, whatever like sparks your brain. And you're like, oh, this is what I got to be doing. This is what I should be doing.
Dude, oh my God, how am I blanking on his name? Better
George
Call
Washington.
Saul, actor.
Who? Oh, are you saying it's Better Call Saul actor, right?
Yeah. Saul Goodman. It's all good, man.
Hold on. Don't say it.
Great comedian. I've watched Breaking Bad.
Great writer.
What?
Great writer. Great everything.
Oh my God. I could actually picture the letters in his name, but I just
Hold on.
I only know Bryan Cranston. That's the only guy that I know.
Wow. People are screaming right now. There are people in their cars. There's people on the treadmill.
Is it Predigen for your brain? Is that like is that the drug?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Predigen?
Memory loss.
If you give me don't give them to me yet, but if I get the initials, I'll get it.
Oh, oh, wait. Oh, I got it.
Yes.
Bob Odenkirk.
Yes.
I still got it.
You still got it.
Bob
We're not
Odenkirk
checking you in just yet.
Bob Odenkirk was on a podcast, and this clip always comes up. I don't know if it's because I'm on like dad TikTok, but someone says
it's a safe TikTok, to be honest. It's good.
It's like you maybe be able to pull it up, Ryan Richardson.
I know which one you're talking about. It's he's on Mike Birbiglia's podcast.
Yes. So type in Bob Odenkirk being a dad. It's one of the best. I cried watching this clip.
I could see that because it almost got me, but it's an incredible clip.
It's like a minute clip, and he goes like if you could go back in time and like be anything, or like what's like your favorite part of your life or something like that. Or he goes, are you jealous of anything or envious of anyone? And he said, the people that still have kids at home. And the way that
I'm jealous of young parents.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's very much in line with what we're talking about.
It's just, I mean, I know there's a lot of people that have kids I know on this that listen to this show. This is a great clip. Listen to this.
Who are you jealous of?
Anybody who's still got little kids at home growing up.
Oh.
Yeah, there's no question I knew what I was doing when I had kids growing up.
Yeah.
I was being a dad. I mean, that was my job. And I didn't have to ask myself, what am I doing here? What am I doing? How can I be a part of this world? How can I be meaningful today?
Yeah.
I didn't have to ask that question because the fucking answer is pick up everything between here and the door.
Yeah, that's right.
And make sure they get to school and have a laugh with them.
Yeah.
And, life was, I understood my purpose.
Best answer.
Yeah.
It's a great answer.
It's just like that's an answer of like, that's who I am. Like a lot of people, to Trent's point, that's the moment of like, oh my God, something primal just came out in me. And like, this is why I'm doing this. Like, I have to just take care of this now. Wild, really crazy.
No, incredible. And yeah, to kind of bring it all the way around, it is like when you think about kind of what we've done and built, and if there was a chance to play Augusta and be able to like really give it the full treatment and have like everything we've done build to that. Like we've gotten that a few different times with like the Tiger moment, where we're able to like finally either meet a couple times, get on video of us talking to where are you stationed, all the way up to like hit shots in front of them and having them go good, having them go bad, like all of that, having us play Cyprus, like having the different types of moments throughout and having it kind of come down to being at Augusta at some point, I think that's a very good question. But I think I'm with you guys. I think it would just be like, yeah, that you could check so many boxes by doing that it would be really hard to beat. So
yeah, because on the other side of it, I mean, I played Pine Valley with one of my best friends. And like didn't have it filmed, and we went there for 2 nights, played 2 rounds, or for one night played 2 rounds. It's an Augusta National type golf course. I mean, it's right there. It's 1 and 2, and then Cypress. And it's an unbelievable experience. I do love being able to tell people the shots I hit. I mean, I didn't play particularly well, so there's not too much memorable shots, but my buddy made an eagle on a par 5 there. Like there's a moment that we'll always remember together of him making an eagle at Pine Valley, and like the type of shots he hit. He went hybrid, and then like 7-iron and dunked it in. Like that to me is such a cool thing. If that was on video, and my like the way that my brain works, if that was on video, that would have went viral. It would have been unbelievable. So yeah, I think our brains are just wired to like what we do for a living, and we'd want that moment. Like I think back, like if I could have filmed those 2 rounds at Pine Valley, it would have brought me a little bit more happiness than like just having to tell people it, because everything else I do is on camera. Every other round we play is like, I would have loved to be able to send them a clip. Brock Nelson, oh, how was Pine Valley? I'd love to be able to show you a video of it instead of me have to describe it, you know?
Totally. I agree. You know who I got to give some kudos to is really just driving the golf ball fantastically right now is Brendan Jones.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh my God, dude. He was out here. Those boys were out here. We filmed our last film of the year. They came out for a couple days. We went up and played golf on Monday afternoon. We squeezed in 18 holes, and Jonesy was just striping it off the tee. And out here at Desert Golf, as you guys know, if you're not striping it off the tee, it could just be a long, miserable day. But our boy was just piping it. So it was absolutely beautiful to see. So well done by Jonesy. And then I got to see, I posted it, but I got to see Nick Fasoli in the wild for the first time since the Internet Invitational. Just the second I saw him, it brought the biggest smile to my face. I fucking love that guy. He is just everything. He really just encompasses Barstool sports in like every way imaginable, that guy. So just seeing him and talking through everything since the Invitational and seeing the reaction to when I posted just a picture with them, some of the memes that people were sending me and stuff, got a great chuckle out of me. So it was great to see Fasoli out there.
Did he say how his life has changed? Was there anything dramatic that has happened to him since he went super viral?
He was looking for
He said people will do that to him quite a bit. Not just of the cow. And I'll say, like, we filmed a hater match, and like the one person that the guy that we played against and his 2 buddies that came out here with him, the one person they wanted to take a picture with was not like me or Jonesy, or it was Fasoli. It's like, holy fuck, Fasoli's here. I was like, yep. So no, it was great hearing him talk through it. Hearing him talk through all the DMs he gets and how people send him some mean stuff, some hate type stuff. And he's like, I just respond with love you every single time, which is such a Fasoli move. So yeah, man, he's gone crazy viral. People recognize him. Like people, as soon as he walks on property at a golf resort or golf course in particular, people are just like, that's fucking Fasoli, right?
Oh yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah. I mean, it's the biggest thing that happened in golf aside from Rory McIlroy's, his Grand Slam. So that Internet Invitational was, and he was a massive part of it, picking up golf balls, driving through fences, clips for days, just like millions and millions of views, real views too, like people sending it out in different countries.
Oh, dude.
Like, did you see this in this huge golf tournament? This guy picked up the ball. Dave called him out on it. Like, that's just
what.
Because I mean, like, I've gotten a lot of exposure for being in the finals, chipping across the green. Like, he was just as viral. Like, he was just as big of a moment. Maybe bigger.
Yeah, dude.
Maybe bigger.
Maybe bigger. Like, I was just thinking in my head, if you had to think of like top 3 or top 5 names that you like recall if you watch the Internet Invitational, like Fasoli is up there. You remember Dalkey winning? You remember Beef for a ton of different reasons. Obviously him winning and then everything that happened. You know, you're going to remember Quan from from the sleeping in. You're going to remember Melosi and Page from some controversies. But like, you remember Frankie's chip, but like, I think Fasoli's up there with any one of those that I just mentioned.
He's right there. He's right there.
What was Dave was like, you got to snap out of it and snap out of it quick. He's just driving around like just a bad hole, man. Hey, listen, everybody on this show has had a bad hole, a bad golf hole.
Oh yeah,
happens to everybody in
Many.
every which way.
Because we got a lot of golf left. You got to get your head. You got to get your head back in the game, man.
And just the fact that I mean, Austin obviously had the angle of Dave like watching it happen. It was the whole thing was perfect. So Barstool.
What a treat to see him, man. What a treat to see
We've
him.
got. I mean, we're squaring away and dotting some T's and crossing some I's in terms of the 2026. That's that's a Office reference. I didn't get that wrong, but
Shit, I didn't know that one.
I think it is, right?
Could be.
Yeah. The turns of table kind of
That's
thing.
That's on me.
The for the 2026 Internet Invitational, that's getting going. We've had a bunch of meetings already about it, so we're just squaring away some final details and stuff like that. But you're gonna start seeing some people get invitations relatively soon. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun getting that thing going again.
Yeah, the meetings are. It does get me kind of juiced up. Like you kind of remember too. It's funny to look at it now when we're in these meetings, the Internet Invitational, as something that has actually happened and worked and been successful, because like for a year we kind of had meetings and nobody really knew, you didn't really have like a image or like a reel in your brain of what it was going to look like or be. We just kind of like, we're all hoping it was going to work out. And now to be like a little, I guess, armed with the success of it, it feels a lot different in the meetings. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I totally agree with that, because we've had things just throughout, like we've been talking about for the 10 years, whenever we've been doing this, like you have an idea, you see that it works, and there's just a feeling in the meeting. There's a few more people in the meeting now, but the Internet Invitational is that times like a billion. Like we all planned it for a year. Like you're saying, we were all in the meetings. What's the format? Who's going to be invited? Literally down to every little piece of it. And now that it's had a tremendous amount of success, you do feel it in these new meetings where there's a few boxes that you don't know who those people are, and people are very excited about like what's going on. But the spirit and the core of it is still there. It's still us. It's still the Bob guys. It's still Dave. Like we still are planning every single part of it.
Yeah, it's funny too. Like in our world, we talk about this with people quite a bit, but it's funny how often you think you have either something that is genius and there's no way it's not the biggest thing ever, and it does like okay or shitty, and then how many times you think you got just a pretty average thing that you're going to put out and it goes fucking crazy. Like that happens, I feel like quite a bit in our world. And then this one, with the Invitational, to be like pretty confident it was a great idea, pretty confident we're putting all these resources into it, pretty confident with partnering up like in an official sense with the Bob Does crew, getting Dave involved. Like you're pretty confident we're going to get all those names there, that like there's no way it's not a huge thing. And then when you're there, it felt like electric and energetic and that it was going to be awesome. But like there's still a chance that it comes out and just doesn't catch or doesn't get into the jet stream or whatever. And then to see it actually happen, like I know we've talked a lot about the Internet Invitational, but that for us was like awesome, because you put a lot into it and you're just never fully sure. And so, yeah, being in these meetings now, it is like there's a lot of there's just as much sort of like urgency and pressure, I feel like, for people to be like, all right, we got to do it again. People want it. People need it. People, expectations are high. And it's great. And it is also nice. We've been on we've done sneaky amount of filming and traveling over the last month since everything, but seeing like Jonesy and Jared and those guys out, and like anybody we run into, they talk about the Invitational and they like pat those guys on the back literally for the whole work through the Internet Invitational. So seeing all that is delightful, very delightful. The NFL is in full swing. Tailgates, packed stands, that buzz before kickoff, but getting in, that could be a nightmare. Queues, price jumps, getting logged out mid-click. Tough with service sometimes. There's so many people around. If you're at a tailgate near the stadium, all you want is to be there with a beer in hand, losing your voice with the crowd. The Game Time app gives the advantage back to you, the fans. It's the hack for unlocking amazing tickets and experiences in just a few taps. It's incredibly easy to use, and the Game Time guarantee means you can trust you'll get 100% authentic tickets on time at the best prices. Look, this show has been not quiet over the years about how going to live events, whether it's a comedy show a play, a game, a football game, hockey game, basketball game, baseball game, whatever it might be, is really what life's all about. And Game Time's the best way to do it.
Sure is. I'm looking right now on the website. I mean, Andrea Bocelli talked about that. That's happening at MSG tonight and tomorrow. Unbelievable stuff. Lady Gaga, Bon Jovi, Rush. Rush is back on tour, which is so cool. Actually, my father-in-law, Don, was like, if Rush comes to the New York area, I'd like to see them one more time. Like, I'd like to see, I don't know how much longer they're going to be traveling. So, but Game Time, I mean, come on. You can go to any event, you can go to a concert right now. You can go to a play. You can go to a game. Doesn't matter. Any live entertainment, Game Time's got you.
They got you. They're the best in the business. They're the official ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. Fees always included, so what you see is what you actually pay. Take the guesswork out of buying NFL tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app. Create an account. Use our code FORE for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem our code FORE for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. You probably know this right now, but holiday gift giving can spiral out of control. It's hard to know how much is too much, and it's easy to forget someone on your list. Rocket Money helps you set limits and track every purchase so no one gets left out of your budget. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions. It monitors your spending, and it helps lower your bills so you could grow your savings. This is one of the most utilized apps day in and day out on my entire cellular mobile device.
Yeah, it's really made its way into my rotation. I check it at least once a day, just keep an eye on the finances, see what's going on, make sure, it's just there's nothing crazy going on. You can set up alerts for when big purchases are made. It'll send you an email, it'll send you a text being like, hey, this just happened. Is this you? So it keeps an eye on everything for you. But yeah, I use this all the time. It really gives you a good look at your financial picture, where before I had this app, I just really didn't know what was going on. We talk on this show about, when did I get a credit card? When did I stop using my debit card? So using the Rocket Money app has been a step forward for me in terms of keeping an eye on my finances.
Yeah, it really is great. I'm with you. I like that. I got that alert set for large purchases. You get like a quick notification from Rocket Money. You can make sure, again, that that's like legit. And it's good. It keeps you kind of in check. Rocket Money has saved users over $2.5 billion, including over $880 million in canceled subscriptions alone. Their 10 million members save up to $740 a year when they use all of the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/4 today. That's rocketmoney.com/4, rocketmoney.com/4.
Ryan Richin has like trivia or something. What's that about?
I have 12 trivia questions pertaining to the 2025 golf season.
Holy
We
smoke!
want to do those now?
So I can't tell if we're going to know none of these, if they're going to be like who was second in like the PGA Tour event in February, or if we're going to do pretty good at these.
I
don't know
get
either.
0 of them correct, but I'm excited to see how bad I am at this.
Yeah, I don't know either. This will be a very trial and error trivia, but some of them you'll probably get, and some of them might be a little harder. But
Okay.
All right.
we'll see.
I love it, Ryan Richardson. And these, give me the origin of these 12 questions. Were these did you just comb through the world of golf? Was there a listicle you found somewhere? Where did this
No,
come from?
just going through the PGA Tour website. They have a bunch of statistics,
that.
like statistics for courses, players, like money list, everything. And then a little data golf for some stuff, like pertaining to Ryder Cup and all that. But kind of just tried to think of, I don't know, tournaments that happened and big moments that happened, or like players that did do well, players that didn't do well. And then there's like obviously general stats and all that, driving and putting and all that. But
Okay.
those are pretty hard, honestly. So
Let's
I didn't.
get
I
to
didn't
it then. Let's
try to
see.
get
I
too
mean,
many
you
of
got to rip
those,
the
but-
Band-Aid off. I mean, I don't. I already don't want to do it now because of how much you just said. I mean, I don't know any putting. I don't know any putting.
The three
We
of
got
us
3
can work.
brains.
We're going
You
to
gotta
work together.
So there's 4 options. So like you got to work as a team to figure out which one is like the
Okay.
best option.
It's,
Like,
who
We
wants
got
to be
A,
a
B, C,
millionaire?
or D.
Yeah.
Wait.
Oh God.
Wait, what did he say?
We got A, B, C, or D. This is great.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. So you can kind of like work through it and be like, all right, I think this is
Look at
a good
Ryan Richardson with the
answer.
trivia graphic.
Bro, this
Wow,
is
this is
Who Wants to
pretty
Be a
good,
Millionaire. This is
pretty
perfect.
good first
Okay.
question.
All
All
right.
right. So in 2025, this player led the PGA Tour in driving distance with an average drive of 325 yards. Is it A, Jake Knapp, B, Rory McIlroy, C, Aldrich Pottinger, or D, Cameron Champ?
I'm gonna say I think Rory is a trap answer. I think he's like second or third.
Big
so
time.
I'm gonna eliminate Rory.
I saw a clip.
Dude, Cameron Champ is way up there.
He hits it a mile.
Dude, I saw a clip of this guy. They had like a mashup, might have been the PGA Tour. They had a mashup of guys talking about is it Potgetter?
Mm-hmm.
Just about how far he hits the golf ball. So that's where my first instinct went.
My thinking is it's down to Champ or Potgetter, and I did just see Potgetter won Rookie of the Year, I believe. He would be my vote, but it's kind of a 50-50 for me on Champ or Potgetter. Not that Jake Knapp doesn't hit it a mile. I say Potgetter.
I think it's Cameron Champ, but if you guys want to go with Potgetter, you can go. Because I thought I had looked up this stat recently, and Cameron Champ didn't. Me and Ryan Richardson talked about this for a top 10. And I could have sworn it was freaking Cameron Champ.
You got more conviction than I do.
I think we do individual grades here, because if we're gonna have disagreements, I think that would be fun.
Just go Potgetter then, because I'm not that confident. I think I saw a list, but I could be wrong. If you guys are seeing Rookie of the Year shit, go Potgetter.
It's gonna be Champ for sure now.
Is that correct?
Right. That's correct.
Yeah.
Bang!
Wow.
There you go.
Okay, 1 for
Absolutely
1.
Absolutely love it.
Hell yeah!
Look at that. 1
feels
for
good.
1.
All right. Which player recorded only one top 10 finish on the PGA Tour in 2025? A, Tony Finau, B, Wyndham Clark, C, Jordan Spieth, or D, Joel Damon?
All right, now
could
that's
be anybody.
That's a tough one.
I think Joel Damon didn't even have a top 10.
Which player recorded only one top 10 finish? Man, weirdly my gut says Tony Finau. I think he didn't have that great of a year.
I know.
I don't think any of them guys had
great
pretty
year.
poor years.
That's 4 guys. Which player recorded only one top 10 finish on the PGA Tour in 2025?
Oh God.
This is simply a guess. It's such a hard question. It's simply a guess.
I think they're all 4 in the same bucket, in my opinion. It could be any one of them.
We'll go Tony Finau.
Let's go Tony Finau A.
Let's go Finau.
That is correct.
That's
Wow.
That's how you do it, folks.
2 for 2.
Come on.
Wyndham Clark had 2, Jordan Spieth had 4, and Joel Damon had 3.
Wow. Sorry to Joel Damon.
Jordan Spieth had 4?
That's incredible. That's shocking.
All I want is Jordan
shocking
Spieth to have one more year where he just dominates. It'd be so fun.
I know, me too.
So Joel Damon had 3 top 10s, and now he lost his card. Did he lose his card or no?
He was like right on the edge.
Right on the edge. I think a top 10 is pretty fucking good for your year. 3 of them.
Which player went undefeated at the 2025 Ryder Cup? A, Terrell Hatton, B, Cameron Young, C, Rory McIlroy, or D, Xander Schauffele?
Well, I know Rory lost in his singles match.
Yep.
I think it might be Cam Young. Did he go undefeated?
That one popped out to me because I think Tyrrell lost in his singles match as well, didn't he? Or
Tyrrell?
Did he tie at the end?
Oh, he might have tied at the end.
Was it against like Sam Burns?
Cam Young definitely had to have played well, but lost somewhere, right?
Ooh.
I think that was like Sam Burns. They might have like tied.
Dude, I think
it might be Cam Young. He didn't play as much, and every time he did play, I think he won.
I think it's Cam Young, because I remember there was a lot of momentum about like he's the local guy, quote unquote, and he like is playing well.
Well, I know he played incredibly well, but like,
undefeated.
God, is it really an American that went undefeated? Could be.
Fuck, it's a great question. Cam Young, pull the trigger.
I'm trying to think, when would Tyrrell Hatton have lost? Like, he played with Rahm twice. I don't know that they lost. And then he played that afternoon when they like, didn't he play in the afternoon when somebody else was supposed to play, but like Hovland was hurt? And then he went out there and played well. I'm trying to think when he could. I definitely think Cam Young could be the answer, but I'm just trying to think of when Tyrrell Hatton lost.
Well, also, so Tommy Fleetwood went undefeated, yeah?
Yeah.
So I think was
No,
like
Tommy lost to Justin Thomas.
Yeah, Tommy
on
lost.
Sunday.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Why did I?
Oh, he got the most points because he went 4-1.
That's what it was.
I think he got the most points.
I think it might be Cam Young.
Yeah, because then Tyrrell Hatton
Okay.
played just as much as he would have gotten more points than Tommy Fleetwood if he went undefeated. Cam Young,
But I don't think he played 2 sessions on the first day. I think he only played 2 sessions on Saturday because because Victor Hovland got hurt.
Oh, all right.
But I like Cam Young a lot. I like the Cam Young answer.
Let's go B, Cam Young.
You guys almost had
Oh, that's on me. That's on
Tyrrell
me.
Hatton. Tyrrell Hatton went 3-0-1. Cameron Young went 3-1-0. Rory McIlroy 2-1-1, and Xander Schauffele 3-1-0.
But he didn't go undefeated then.
Well, he didn't lose. He halved a point.
Yeah.
Interesting question.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess that is undefeated. You didn't get defeated. But I mean, a tie is like, they count that as undefeated in the Ryder Cup?
Yeah. Or like,
wow, I wouldn't have thought that. I wouldn't. I
it's like a possible amount of points you didn't get them all. But yeah, I guess so.
Yes, it was took it very literally, I guess, but
fair.
Technically, was not
right.
defeated. Okay. Next one. Which player not named Scottie Scheffler recorded the most top 10s in 2025? A, Tommy Fleetwood. B, Justin Thomas. C, Russell Henley. D, Ben Griffin.
Wow. I mean,
sneaky Ben Griffin season.
I know. I think it's either Tommy or Ben Griffin.
I mean, there's no way it's Russell Henley, right? No disrespect.
Which
I know he had a good.
I know,
year,
but like, right? He could have been sneaky in there with like 9 top 10s or something. You'd be like, what? Like, wasn't he like fucking 4th in the world going into the Ryder Cup?
Yeah, he
was like,
really.
But Tommy had a shit ton, man. He was a top 10 all the time, I feel like.
I think
Griffin won like 3 times.
A or D, Tommy or Ben. Tommy got all the.
I like Russell Henley.
Oh,
wow.
I know Tommy got all the praise, and we love Tommy, and it was a huge story. But I think Ryan Richard's trying to throw us off the scent there. All right,
that's kind of what I was thinking too.
I don't think it's Justin Thomas, right? Like if we're going through it.
I mean, he had a good year, but I don't think so.
Russell Henley or Ben Griffin?
Ben Griffin won like a lot, but I don't know that he was top 10 like all the time.
All right, I'm gonna eat crow on my Russell Henley comment. I'm in to guess it though.
God, did he finish like T7 a million times?
You want to do Russell Henley?
Just do Russell Henley.
Sure. Let's do Russell Henley.
Russell Henley.
You guys were close.
Oh, God.
Russell Henley had 10, and then Tommy Fleetwood and Justin Thomas had 8.
What a year from Ben Griffin. 12 top 10s is fucking nuts. All right.
Fucking Ben Griffin, man. 12. What a year.
What a year. What a year.
All right, next question.
Which one of these following players won 2 times in 2025? A, Hideki Matsuyama. B, Harris English. C, Ryan Fox. Or D, Thomas Dentry.
Huh. Dude, you know what?
What?
Did Hideki win early in the year and then he just won the Hero, right?
Yeah, he did.
Because Thomas Dietrich won the Phoenix Open. I don't know if he won anything else. Harris English?
God damn.
Hideki might have won early in the season. That was so long ago, but I think he might
I know.
Was it Harris English?
I mean, yeah, Harris English obviously was on the Ryder Cup team, so he had to have some sort of year.
I know.
Did he win the RBC Heritage, Harris English?
Ooh.
Was that JT won that?
I think JT did win that one. I think we go with Hideki. I like Hideki.
We're going to go Hideki.
It is C, Ryan Fox.
Oh,
they did not count They did not count the Hero World as a 2025 win for Hideki.
Who's they? Who's they?
The PGA Tour website. Or if he won the 2025 Century.
What tournaments did Ryan Fox win? That could have been a question that I would never get right.
He won the Canadian Open. He beat who Who do you beat then? Sam
And
Burns.
Ryan Fox. Bob
And
Fox's
then-
brother.
We gotta be more specific on that question.
Him and Bob
you
Fox
know?
are related.
Like who won official PGA Tour events?
All right, what's the next one?
The next one is, which team finished the TGL regular season atop the standings with 9 points? A, Los Angeles Golf Club, B, Atlanta Drive, C, New York Golf Club, or D, the Bay Golf Club?
Wow.
This one might be
Well,
tough.
It definitely wasn't New York. I don't think it was the Bay. I think it was either oh, maybe God, was it? Maybe it was now. Fuck, I don't know.
That's a tough one. This feels like a shot in the dark for this crew.
Who won that fucking thing, man? I remember watching it.
I think LA.
You know who was? I know. I was kind of thinking LA, but like, fuck.
Was it not New York? Or they finished
Maybe it
last?
was New York. Because like, wasn't Cam Young like unbelievable in that thing?
I know they did something in like the playoffs that was bad. Like they didn't even get a point or something like that. I thought.
Was it Atlanta Drive, dude? Was it like Billy Horschel and JT? No, maybe. Did JT win that thing?
Fuck.
Wasn't he on that team with Billy Horschel?
I think so. Yeah.
I think it's New York.
Let's do New York. C.
Wow. Okay, we'll go New York.
It's wrong.
It is A, Los Angeles.
Were they last? New York? Was New York last?
New York was third to last, so that's what, fourth
Awesome.
place?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we got to brush up on our TGL statistics there.
That seemed too easy.
I don't mind us missing that one. You know, that's fine.
All right, what do we
I
got?
mean, I like TGL, but
Which player currently holds the record for consecutive made cuts with 72? A, Scottie Scheffler, B, Corey Connors, C, Hideki Matsuyama, D, Xander Schauffele.
I believe that is Xander Schauffele.
You feel? I like the confidence.
I
there.
love it.
Final answer, Xander Schauffele.
It is D, Xander
There we
Schauffele.
go.
Stuff.
We had a
Scottie
drought there.
Scheffler is 64, and then Corey Connors is the next closest with 19. So there's a massive gap. Massive
Wow.
gap there.
Yeah, Xander's been on quite the tear. He's like halfway to Tigers. I think Tiger was like 144 or something like that.
That
It's
would
the
be
record.
it. I mean, everybody always thought that was untouchable. All right.
I know.
All right. Which course surrendered the least amount of birdies over 4 rounds with 643? Is it A, Oakmont, which was obviously the U.S. Open, B, Muirfield, C, Cairns Valley, which was the BMW Championship, or D, Bay Hill Golf Club?
I feel like maybe Cairns Valley because of how random that is.
Yeah, or the small field, right? If it was like BMW, is it a smaller field?
It was a small
yeah.
field.
Cairns Valley definitely. I mean, that sticks out like a sore thumb
Why
in
else?
this foursome.
Why else would this fucker put this on that list? You know what I'm saying?
You have to describe the course to us.
I think simply out of trivia strategy, we should go with C just to see. We're going to get a feel for the way Ryan Richardson does these
There's
things.
no other way to know this answer, right? So I'm just go C.
C.
See,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cairns Valley. You guys are on me.
We've exposed Ryan
snipped
Richardson.
you
All
out,
right.
dude.
It's good to know because,
we
dude, if you do the
sniffed your
Daily
ass
Dozen
out.
every day with that Jeff D. Lowe puts on, which is like my favorite, like it's the reason I wake up in the mornings because I want to do Daily Dozen trivia while I'm laying in bed. You get a feel for the person who puts together the trivia. Like
big time. There's some
You know?
personality behind these questions,
love
Ryan
it.
Richardson.
all right.
Also, I didn't want to, because I went through like the amount of birdies, and then I was like, oh wait, that's the BMW Championship. Of course, it had the least amount of birdies because it only had 50 players in it. So
Yeah.
I didn't want to not say it and then have you guys be like, oh, it's bullshit that tournament was smaller.
That was
or
all
whatever.
time. That was like the only answer option the whole time so far that you described what tournament it was.
Oakmont,
Yeah.
Murfield Village, Bay Hill Club, and Cairns Valley.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got next?
All right, this is a weird one. I was surprised by this, but which of these players is first place in 13 of the 32 around the green short game statistics listed on the PGA Tour's website? Is it A, Scottie Scheffler, B, Matteo Monacero, C, Michael Kim, or D, Hideki Matsuyama?
Which of these players is first place in 13 of the 32 around the green short game statistics listed on the PGA Tour's website?
Can't believe there's 32 around the green shots.
That was
they
my
list.
first takeaway.
What misses the cut on those? Like that's not a it's like
that's pretty crazy.
Who's got the best short game on tour? Basically, is kind of what I think you could boil this down to.
I think Scottie hits the damn green too much to even be on this in the statistics, but also he has less chips and less everything, so maybe his percentages are inflated, right? Like he's
I'll tell you, Matteo Manasero's really sticking out to me if we're using the logic from the last question.
Right. It's in like smaller font, right? You had to like squeeze him on there. Why would you squeeze this guy on there unless he was like
Matteo Manasero?
You got to go Matteo Manasero. That's just so random.
B.
Do it.
Matteo.
Do it. B.
You guys are correct. Matteo Manasero.
Oh, man. We got you pegged, brother.
Trivia gods.
We got you pegged.
Why would that name be on there? That is shocking.
In, man.
That was probably too random. But it's like scrambling, sand saves from 30+ yards, sand saves from 10 to 20 yards. They got all these different statistics.
Matteo.
So I guess
gotcha.
You got to miss the green a lot.
Matteo.
Shout out Matteo,
man. That's phenomenal. Scottie didn't even miss the green 32 times last year. There's 32 different categories.
Which player led the PGA Tour in strokes gained putting in 2025? A. Sam Burns, B. Scottie Scheffler, C. Denny McCarthy, D. Henry Hall.
I'm gonna go C. Denny McCarthy.
Yeah. Agreed.
Final answer?
Yeah.
Final.
It's A. Sam Burns.
Oh, God. I was so on board with the Denny McCarthy thing.
Where was Denny?
That was like his. Denny was. I have it right here. Denny was 4th.
Okay. Fuck. I think if maybe
Sam
we thought
Burns.
about that. Yeah.
Way to go, Sam.
That was a lot of the talk going into the Ryder Cup was that he's the best putter on the planet. I guess I should.
He is a great putter, man. He is a great putter.
All right.
Henry Hall was 2nd.
My bad.
That's okay. Bad. I was with you on that.
I didn't know Henry Hall was that high. I had a boy Henry Hall.
Which player was relegated from Live Golf in 2025? A. Mito Pereira, B. Anriban Lahari, C. Danny Lee, or D. Sebastian Munoz?
Let me just say this: the fact that we don't know the answer immediately is an indictment on the system of Live.
Is it Mito Pereira? Because I think I had saw something with his shot at the PGA Championship, and then like, wow, how it's fallen. I saw something come across my desk recently.
Okay,
him making that
more
swing.
than anything I got, so I like that.
I think it's Mito Pereira. Hey,
final.
Yeah,
you are correct.
Bang.
Yeah, Frankie.
All right,
I'm talking about.
Because I always talking about. Oh, last one. Go ahead.
No, what are you gonna say, Trent?
No, like the relegation thing. I always think like that's a fun. It's not fun for the player, but like in soccer, that's a really interesting thing to follow. And I think if Liv were to like ever catch on, which we've talked a lot about at this point, but like that would be a bigger story. And it's just like we barely. I mean, Frankie said he saw something.
Totally
the correct answer, but that should be like a huge deal, and it didn't come across my desk.
So Henrik Stenson also got relegated, but they're still listed on the team website. Like if you look at whatever their teams are, I think it's like the Magic Sticks and Torquay or whatever. They're still listed on the team, so I don't know if they actually got relegated or if they just said it or what. But
did we talk about the Phil Mickelson thing from a couple episodes ago?
That they updated the
PGA
website?
Tour website?
Yeah, well, dude, like that's crazy because we looked at it. So there's now 2 websites. One that says career earnings and one that says something else. And on the bottom of the new website or the other version, it says players that not only play on the PGA Tour. And that includes, but dude, I'm telling you, I showed you guys the list and it didn't have it, and nothing in Google search would come up with the other list. Now, when you type in career earnings for PGA Tour, both of them come up.
Interesting. A little bit of controversy there.
Well,
yeah, that's bizarre, man.
There's just no way. Now it's called money finishes. Let's see.
Well, I would also say the amount of like back and forth that we did in terms of like trying to find the right list, I think that probably would have come up.
100%.
Yeah, definitely.
Dude, official money. It doesn't have them on. Yeah.
But now there's a new list that has it.
There is a new list that has it.
Crazy.
And it literally specifically shows on the bottom, like these players, like do not like right next to it, career earnings. Now it says, let me just pull it up. The total official money earned by a player on the PGA Tour for their career. This includes all players, not just members.
Does it say like in your face Frankie Borelli at the end of that as well?
I know for a fact that thing came out of nowhere once we released that podcast.
I agree. What do we got? One more here.
What developer got emailed right in the morning? Like, you got to fix this.
Right, fix it now.
By the way, our guy Joel Damon lost his full PGA Tour card for 2026. He finished 122nd. He will have conditional status, so he could compete in some events, but does not have the same priority as players with full cards.
Fantastic.
I think I just fucked this one up. If you guys saw the answer was supposed to
I saw it, dude. I saw it.
I didn't see it.
All right. So
I almost had it perfect.
Nah, bro.
So Riggs will do it.
I did not see it, I promise.
An impossible question almost. Which player holds the longest streak for holes without a 3-putt with 181? Is it A, Ricky Fowler, B, Russell Henley, C, Sam Burns, D, Kurt Kitayama?
Such an easy question, dude.
Fuck you both. I'm gonna say Russell Henley. B. Final.
Is D, Kurt Kitayama? That was
Come on, man.
That was an impossible one. I was trying to get 12, and I just saw that streak on PGAtour.com, and I'm like, you know what? I'll throw that one in there. So
that's incredible, though.
Yeah,
like 181 holes without a 3-putt.
That's insane.
That is crazy.
That's insane. It's so easy to 3-putt.
It's
rolling
the easiest thing to do. All right. That's 12
holiday
workshopped
questions.
it.
I like it.
I like it.
No, I like it.
It's good, Ryan Richardson. I like that.
I like the initiative, Ryan Richardson.
Well, I was telling Rick before the show, at my old job, we used to do it every Tuesday because I worked for PFF. So we had this whole database of football data, and we would just create so many trivia questions. But golf's a little harder because there's obviously the good players are really good. The stats are way more obscure. So,
sure.
But I figured it was a nice end of 2025,
Yeah.
Wrap up the year.
I loved it.
You could do American history questions. You could do whatever the hell you want.
Ooh.
Agreed.
Yeah, you could do anything.
American history.
You can do anything. All right.
Yeah, you could pick like stuff that we all watch. You know what I'm saying?
I get some for the Christmas episode if you want.
Ooh.
It's not a bad idea, Ryan Richardson. I love it.
Yeah.
I think trivia gets the people going too. Frankie's right.
2025 trivia, just general.
General 2020, like the year of 2025?
Yeah.
So do you guys like the 4 options, or do you like to just guess straight up?
No, I like the options.
The options are good. It gets you thinking.
Yeah, work through it.
Yeah.
You guys had me on the Canes Valley thing. I didn't want to.
So obvious, dude.
No, there was a middle part there. We kind of knew what you're doing. We were able to figure you out. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Another year came and went, gentlemen. It's the end of 2025. Every channel in the history of golf, YouTube, has made a hole-in-one, multiple hole-in-one, holes-in-ones on par 4s, holes-in-ones on par 5s, it feels like at this point. Holes-in-ones for you. It's Oprah Winfrey gift. One Protein, one of our great sponsors. We tried to even rig the system and do an entire hour of getting a hole-in-one, brought to you by the One Hershey's Double Chocolate Bar, 18 grams of protein, 1 gram of sugar. And we have no holes-in-ones, boys.
We simply just can't get a hole-in-one. The One Protein bar, the Reese's Peanut Butter Lovers, the Double Chocolate, Hershey's, 18 grams sugar, 18 grams of protein, 1 gram of sugar. No matter what we do, we can't get that ball in the hole. And I mean, we can't even get the ball in the hole from the fair with nothing. Like, we can't get any hole out. The ball is just not going in the hole for us. So it's another year. 2025 was a year of no hole-in-one. So was 2024, 2023, 22, 20, 19, 18, 17. Since this channel started.
Next year, though. Next year is our year.
Next year is the year of the hole-in-one. I'm declaring a hole-in-one, a Hershey's One Protein Bar hole-in-one. I am calling it right now. Someone on our channel, whether it's us, whether it's one of the guests, someone, we are getting a hole-in-one in a video next year.
Love it.
Do you guys agree?
God,
yes, I agree.
I love that, man. I love that.
Manifest.
I even said, filming like the most recent hater match, I said to the guy that I, was opposed to as much UB, I said, "Will you just please get a hole-in-one today?" I just like, even if it's you, man, even if it's you, We just need an ace. Can't do it.
I think it's a break the seal situation. I think you get one and they just start tumbling downhill. You get a bunch of them. So
this year I made one at with our guy Barbuti from Taylor. I made one at Shinnecock. I made 100 and whatever it was, 130-yard pitching wedge went in on hole 1 for an eagle. That feeling of watching it go in, I'm like, we can do it now. I watched it hit the green, go left, and go in the hole. I was in the rough. I wasn't on a tee box. I think that's what's going to get us going. Is like we got to start seeing the ball go towards the hole a little bit. I think it's possible.
Okay.
I like it. It's all brought to you. All these failures are brought to you by One Protein. It's the best snack you can get out there. 18 grams of protein, 1 gram of sugar. Protein just got delicious. Buy the new One Hershey's Double Chocolate Protein Bar on Amazon. Once again, protein just got delicious.
What do you guys think about this NBA Cup that the Knicks won last night? I'm a Knicks fan. Like, they're celebrating. Jalen Brunson's getting his butt fingered by Josh Hart.
Oh, I missed that.
In 4K. Oh, yeah.
I missed that too.
Up on the freaking podium, he stuck his thumb up his butthole.
Okay.
They got the whole Villanova thing going on there.
I'll say as a fan of the NBA, this has been, I think this is the 3rd year of the NBA Cup. This is by far the best one. The semifinals are great.
Stunned that they sold out an arena in Vegas for like the Spurs versus the Knicks.
It's a great game.
I know, but like not. I mean, like you got like none of the home fans. Like every home arena sells out because like their teams are there.
Well, Vegas is Adam Silver talked about it yesterday in his press conference. He was saying that they're looking to expand the NBA, and Vegas is on the short list of teams where they would expand to. So there's,
sure.
I mean, they do summer league there. They've had the NBA Cup there for a couple of years.
See that.
Like, it's, I get what you're saying for sure, but like that was a big game. There was a lot of hype for it. Everybody wants to see Wemby. I want to see Wemby. Everybody here wants to see Wemby. Like, he's such a freak of nature. He's 7'7". He's doing things you've never seen before on a basketball court.
I want to Cirque du Soleil.
Dude, there's literally no comparison to him. And he's like,
he got his ass beat last night by the Knicks. The Knicks won the NBA Cup. First team that plays at MSG to win a cup in like 30-something years. 32 years.
Is your question about the celebration of it?
Well, it's just like, I don't know, like the game doesn't count towards the stand. It's just a bizarre thing. Like, I don't like watching Jalen Brunson walking around with a champions on his hat. And like, they're holding the trophies as if like Cat is legitimately like weeping with the fucking trophy. And like, it's like a photo op. It's like,
I saw he was FaceTiming with Chalamet. Like the whole thing was going crazy.
It's December. I mean, I get that. Like you make this tournament. So like everyone wants to try and win it. Like they are obviously all trying to win it, and every guy gets 500-something thousand. So like the bench guys are going crazy. You got to think that the amount of money that was spent in Vegas last night with a bunch of bench players on the NBA winning $500,000, and they're in Vegas for an extra night. My goodness, was the money flowing at the clubs last night? They went nuts on the bench. I mean, because $500,000 to a league minimum guy, it's like,
dude,
you're barely scratching a roster, and now you're getting like a new contract, right? Like, I mean, if you make $800,000, 900, whatever the league minimum is, now you're just like your team won it for you. Didn't play a minute. You just got $550,000 check. You're fucking living.
Yeah, dude.
It's an extra year of you like in the NBA. It's unbelievable.
I respect the NBA for trying something, because a lot of people who are, casual NBA fans or even like pretty big NBA fans, the season for them starts on Christmas. Like that's sort of the kickoff of the year. So they were just looking for a reason or some way to get people engaged in the season earlier on. And they were like, let's do the NBA Cup. I will say the early stages, I can't even track it. It's like, it's different groups. It's teams playing each other. I don't know who's eliminated and who's not.
Start to change colors.
Yeah, people love the courts. That's like a big thing, or they change the color of the courts. But then once it gets down to it, and especially this year because the teams were so good, like the Thunder Spurs semifinal was fucking fantastic, and the Magic and Knicks semifinal was fantastic. So it's just a higher level of basketball than you're going to see normally in a season that didn't have the NBA Cup. But yeah, it's weird seeing guys on December 16th wear champ hats for sure.
I mean, it's like the Four Nations in hockey got everyone going, but that's also playing for your country, which is, we send players to the Olympics and we celebrate that when they win. It's their crowning achievement. They think of that as something more important than even the Stanley Cup sometimes. But with the NBA Cup, it's just weird to see your team celebrating a championship as opposed to like if they did a mid-season international tournament, we'd all be going nuts at like USA won, Jalen Brunson was on that team, the whole deal, whatever. As opposed to like the Knicks, like people are saying they might raise a banner at MSG.
Oh, they will.
Like they will raise
so?
a 2020.
The Bucks raised the banner last year, and so
Yeah,
did the Lakers.
so I mean that's a little bit like that's a little bit crazy because like you got to hold the banners to some sort of integrity.
I agree
You think
with
that's
that.
in the contract? You think that's in like the Saudi contract of like the winning team must raise a banner?
I think we're just like MSG hasn't gotten the last MSG. And I'm a Knicks fan, but I fucking hate the Rangers. The last Madison Square Garden banner that was raised was like Billy Joel selling out 17 straight. No joke. It was like Billy Joel selling out like 200 straight concerts. Was the last banner raising.
Yeah, I really don't support a banner going up. I don't even like the hats that say champs on it. I do like you watch those games and they're playing like it's a playoff game, which is sweet. It's fucking cool to watch like Jalen Brunson give a shit in December and to watch Wemby and all these guys like play their asses off. But you are like confetti's coming from the ceiling. They're wearing the hats. They're putting up banners. That might be a bridge too far for me.
It's outrageous. It's an outrageous thing. But I guess you can, in 20 years, the NBA Cup going to be, it's just like, if that's going to end up being banner worthy, like how can you have 2 championships in the same year? Like how can we then like care as much about the NBA championship? Like you're telling me in 30 years, is the NBA Cup going to have just as much hype around it as the NBA finals? Like, what are we doing? This is just, that's too much for me. It's too much.
It is. I immediately compare it, which it's wildly different worlds like college sports and hockey. But like in hockey, like we had the Bean Pop, which was like in the middle of the year where it was, it's Harvard, Northeastern, BU, BC, those 4 teams only. And it's like, or the first, whatever, Monday in February and the second Monday in February. And like, if you won that, it was not the same as winning a national championship. But for us, it was like up there. There's like banners and shit. And it was like a huge, huge deal to those schools. That was a mid-season tournament within the overall season. And like, we went fucking crazy for it. We like prepped for it, whatever. So that's, but again, you can't really compare college sports. Like they do Christmas tournaments in college, they do all kinds of different stuff. They have, same with like rivalry games, like obviously in football, the rivalry game, if you just win your rivalry game for a lot of schools, it's up there with like, if you have a shit year, it's like you had a great year, even if you're fucking 500 because you won your rivalry game. So college sports are different, but I don't know. I kind of like it in this, but I also think it's weird that they're wearing champ hats and they're raising banners. It's bizarre.
It falls in the category of something that we've talked about on this show a lot with the Tour Championship, where right now with the NBA, they're just throwing money at it. Clearly, like each guy gets $500,000. So that's why the players care. Now we talked about it with TGL, we talked about it with Liv, we talked about it with a lot of things where is the reason that we don't care about it as much is it's because we're in the early stages of it. Is it in 20 years, the NBA Cup going to be a bigger deal? I have no idea. But, again, like I said, getting able to watch that level of basketball at this point in the year is something that otherwise wouldn't happen. So that's a win. I think they got to figure out, the banner situation, because I don't think maybe you put half a banner up, or maybe you put like, just a scarf up there. You can't put
put a ribbon up.
Right. You can't put
I think the cat's out of the bag, dude. I think they're doing it. I think people put up banners for like, winning the President's Trophy in hockey. Like they do that. The Rangers did it. Like they regular season champs. A couple years ago, the Rangers put up a banner. Regular season champions. So like, I guess if we're just going to be calling this the NBA Cup, yeah, in 20 years, a team might be like 9-time NBA Cup champions, and they might have 9 banners up there. I guess it's like college winning bowl games and then going out and playing the national championship. Like you just collect banners, you collect championships. Did every game did that game didn't count towards the standings, but the other ones did, right?
The other ones, only the championship doesn't.
Why? I don't understand that.
That I don't know.
Just the way they're standing, just the way
the other ones are scheduled. Is that why? And that's like an extra one that they can't figure out.
But they can't figure out like who plays in the semis either. I couldn't wrap my head around that.
The logistics of it are confusing.
There's a way they do it. I don't know enough to speak on it, but there is a way that they have it down to where like they shift around the schedule so the semifinal counts. But yeah, the final does not count. But
so is there a game that's getting like taken off the schedule now because a team made it to the semis?
No, I don't think it's
No,
that. I just think they, like, shift around, like, who teams are playing or something of that nature.
like I think the
Oh
Spurs and the Knicks are they'll have played 83 games this year.
no, but games counting. I'm saying.
It doesn't count towards the standings though. No.
I know, but like, how did they know that the Knicks were going to play the Magic? That's that. When the season comes out, the
I know
Knicks
what
and
you're
the
saying.
Magic play 2 games a year. So like now they just played a game in the NBA Cup. That's counting towards the standings. What's going to happen with that second game against the Magic? Are they just like getting rid of it?
These are fair questions. I don't really don't know how they did it.
Yeah, that
I don't.
put my mind in a blender last night.
I do know that whoever it's based on your group, so if you don't make the semis, you play another team in your group. So they have that, like, pre-built into the schedule where they'll be like, "Oh, the Celtics didn't make it, so they're gonna play the Raptors because they also didn't make it to the semifinals." But I don't know exactly how it works, but I know that's part of it.
Makes you want to puke.
It's overall in sports in general, I like that leagues are willing to try things. I think we're very much living in the era of that. We talk about a lot about it with the pitch count or the pitch clock, NBA Cup. They're trying stuff, which is cool.
Well, it's a give me now culture. Like we all want things happening more because everything's so readily available. We're on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're right there. We want to see celebrations. We want to see big games. So this culture now, like, can't wait the 82 games, and like teams aren't like, especially in the NBA, it's so top heavy. It seems like the same teams always make it at the end of the day. Like the top players always make it. LeBron James, Michael Jordan. You go back, Kobe Bryant. It's like 3 players were in the championship for like 30 years. So yeah, like you want more fans engaged because they want more throughout the whole entire year. I get it. I totally get it. Every league is really doing it, right? I mean, like World Baseball Championships with baseball, they did it, and Mike Francesa said he wouldn't watch it if it was in his backyard. But like they do that. The NHL does the does whatever that was called, the
Four Nations.
Four Nations. Like that was a huge success because people want things that matter in the middle of the season. Like we like can't wait. You know what I mean? We need it now halfway through. Give me something to go crazy about. I need a tweet. I need to send a post.
Yeah, and the pitch clock is like making games just like happen faster overall.
It's evolving. Yeah, it's all evolving.
I think it's for the better.
I'm not anti-NBA Cup. It's just was bizarre to see the Knicks. Like, there's just people ask me all the time, like, "Oh, if your buddies with Brock Nelson, if he wins a cup this year with like the Colorado Avalanche, you're gonna go like drink out of the cup?" And I did this with Devon Taves when he won. I went to his cup party and I didn't touch it because I'm like a New York Islanders fan, and I think there's beauty to the fact that if my team doesn't win while I'm on this earth, there's like beauty to that. Like never seeing your team win a championship is a storyline. That's like,
I agree.
That's a personality trait. That's if you were the Cubs, if you were a Cubs fan for 100 years and your team never won, like that's part of your legacy. So like just trying to come up with championships to, make us all happy is not, that to me is insane. Like watching the Knicks win a championship was weird. Like
Dave
I haven't been alive for a Knicks
yesterday. Dave had that rant about it, and he was right. He was like, "Did you watch that?"
No.
He was saying because he always, whenever he's talking about the Patriots, he's like, "I have 6 rings. They're mine." Like and people always scoff at that because they're like, "Oh, you're on the team," or people say that, but it's what he's saying, what you're saying, where it's like, if you're a fan of something, that ring is yours because. How is it not? Like what? Otherwise, what are you watching for? Like if your team, if the Islanders win a ring or they win a Stanley Cup, I mean, like you are going to be like, I won that, and you have every right to that cup. I know you're not on the team, but like you buy the merch, you go to the games, you do all the things. If you can't celebrate when your team does the thing, then why are you watching?
Well, the fan side of sports literally makes what sports are. Like us all being big fans drives teams' revenue, and then they get better players, and like fans showing up to the arena and like ticket sales going up and buying drinks and food and all that stuff goes in the owner's pocket. He then puts it back into the team. If you're a team that doesn't have a big fan base, they're usually at the bottom of the standings because they don't have as much money or revenue. Like it all just like it is part of like if you're supporting the club or the team or the whatever, that is in fact helping that team become better. Like the legendary teams, the original Six hockey teams, they are that because they have the biggest fan bases, the oldest tradition, the oldest history. Like that's what sports is. So of course you get to call it your own. Are you crazy?
Also, your level, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, like with the NBA Cup, it's like it's just money. That's like the reason it exists. You know, it's like it's
Right.
not.
They
Somebody wasn't like, how do we further the integrity of winning in the NBA? Let's come up with this midseason. It's just money. That's like at the end of the
Yeah.
day, and that's okay. Like that's money's all what it's all about. And so, and entertainment. And I do think, like to Trent's point, if you're a big NBA fan and it was more entertaining than it otherwise would have been, then it is like kind of a win, and they're making more money, kind of a win. But it does come with like and people are debating about this like we are right now.
Yeah.
That's a win, but I don't know that it's for like the integrity of the sport or championships or winning. Like it doesn't hold the same weight or even close as like another championship in the NBA. So it's like weird, right? Like, do you put up a smaller banner, like you said? Like, I don't know.
I think they got to work on the post-winning branding. I think that's where it is, where it's like I can't see Jalen Brunson, like you're saying, in a champ's hat unless it's the NBA final.
Holding the trophy like this, like the player of the tournament trophy, as if he won the NBA, championship MVP.
They're still working on it. It's early stages.
I was watching Karl-Anthony Towns walk around with the cup, and I was thinking to myself, is he embarrassed right now? I watched that as a Knicks fan last night thinking, do you think in the back of his mind, he knows, we all know this is slightly embarrassing?
Yeah, like if you see a photo at any point of an NBA player of like Michael Jordan, he's wearing a hat that says champions on it. It should either be an NBA championship or like an Olympic gold medal. That's it.
Right.
Right? Like those are the only times where like you don't need to know the context. You would just be like, that guy won a title. That's amazing. And that's the only time. Whereas if you see a picture of these Knicks guys in the future and you're like, they won a championship, I didn't really remember that. They won the NBA Cup. You're like, wow, okay.
Right, because there's famous there's a famous picture of Kobe holding the trophy, like, and looking at it and being like, holy shit, man, I did this. And then you got Karl-Anthony Towns last night on a FaceTime with Chalamet, basically acting like he won the title, and it's December 15th. And I see what they're trying to do. It is money based. I think you got to work on like what do the hats say? What are we going to do about a banner? But overall, as just a fan of basketball, I was into the games.
Also,
and that's
you got to win a 4-game
Yeah.
series. Like raising a banner is like you beat the best team 4 times. That's a championship. Like it's just, I don't know, meeting in Vegas, raising banners. It's a little ridiculous, but
it's a fair point.
It is what it is. There it is. Yep.
That's the Lakers
tournament champions. That's the Lakers.
The other thing that's
That
crazy,
in-season part of it is tough.
It's actually bigger than the banner to its left.
It's also like you're raising these banners in like it used to be the Staples Center, and then MSG, and the Spurs went on such an historic run with Duncan and those guys. Like those banners, you look up and you're like, holy shit, I remember watching those games like that. Those were wars. And then you're gonna look a little bit to your right and be like, they won like an in-season.
That's it, man. Like I just went to the Islander game. They raised this guy Pat LaFontaine's name up until they didn't retire his number, but his name got put on the Wall of Fame. And I saw his eyes. He was like really watery, like watching his name get put on the stadium and like thinking back to the 80s and all the work and the blood, sweat, and tears that he put in. And like that, like getting things put up in the rafters has meaning, insane meaning. These guys that put all that work in the war times of looking up, like we won that championship, and now you're gonna look up and just see like the NBA Cup. Maybe in 30 years it will have that same value. It's only year 3.
I seriously doubt it. I think they should like put it in like some area of the arena that's not the rafters. Like put it in the hallway. Put it in the what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't put it in the rafters.
A decal on
always
the court.
a good idea.
Yes, maybe someone just makes a sticker and they put it on their locker and they're like, we did it. NBA
whatever.
2025. Can't put it in the rafters.
All right. I'm gonna order some breakfast, man. I'm fucking hungry. I'm a hungry guy right now.
All right.
We gotta save all those voicemails for next time.
Yeah, we're gonna get all the voicemails next week,
Oh, true. We're doing one episode next week.
Yep.
We got one episode left this year, 2025, going out with a bang.
Love it.
All right, boys. Nice work, Ryan Richard. A little trivia
Anyone
action.
listening to this, by the way, if you're in New York City or in the New York City area, we still have a couple tickets left for tonight. We're playing Pup Punk. It's a Christmas extravaganza. We've got special guests coming up singing with us, including I'm pretty sure Mark Roberge from OAR is just singing with us. So it's like basically an OAR concert. And Putt Punk, he's unbelievable. So I'm gonna be playing the drums for a guy who, you know, has 90 million downloads on most of his songs. It's like outrageous. I don't know. I'm going down. I got to go practice like the drums today with him. He's like coming to practice. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. So make sure you go buy tickets. There's gonna be like 100-something Barstool people there. It's gonna be like a little Christmas party extension. So make sure you go check out tickets. We're in New York City tonight at the Racket.
I love it. Excited to see footage of that. Have a lovely weekend, everybody. Like we said, we got another show next week, and then we are done for the year, and we'll be returning after the new year. But enjoy the week. Happy holidays, and we'll see you next week. Hit it hard.
Hit it hard.
Hit it hard.